Welcome back to devlog number 1 of this space MMO that I'm currently working on, and it hasn't really got a name yet, so we'll just roll with it. So in this devlog we're going to be working on docking to stations, trying to implement lasers but failing a little bit, and working on actual cargo missions that you can transport via the stations. So let's get started, shall we? So first of all, UI is my weakest element of the art in game dev, so I got a UI asset and I'm currently trying to change it up on the chat box, make sure it works well and how it works. You might notice that the aspect ratio of this video is a little bit weird. It's because I had the project stretched across me desktop PC this time, so I've had to crop in the view to adjust so you're not seeing two black bars at either top and the bottom of the screen. But anyway, here's me just messing about trying to get the UI to work well with the already existing chat box, because I don't want it to like deform when you merge it. So I've found out about these patch 9 nodes. Patch 9 nodes? Not patch rec patch something anyway. It's a node that allows the image to be stretched without actually stretching the image too much. I still haven't figured it out properly. Like I say, I'm really learning Godot, and I've come from Game Maker, and so yeah, I'm a bit lost, but I'm getting there. Anyway, I'll skip forward a little bit. Right, so here I actually got it to a point where I was happy. I was just anchoring it to the left corner of the screen and making sure the position of the margin and everything was correct, and when you resize the window just for different resolutions, making sure that it will still look pretty good. And yeah, I'm happy with how it turned out. It's a lot better than the original design. And while I was here, I also went along and fixed a few things, a few quality of life issues where if you pressed enter and there was no text entered, it wouldn't release focus from the text box. So yeah, fix them things and on to the next. Right, so next I decided to implement docking, and I added the space stations to the world and also lasers, but we'll come back to that later. So you can see there I was just adding a new collision mesh to the player's ship. Obviously this will have to be changed via code when players change ship, but we'll come to that once we start adding more ships. So I've put a new collision node on both the ship and the space station, so once the player hits that tiny contact spot, so it aligns. I will make it in code later where it does have to be actually aligned properly, but for now I just wanted a small little area so to make sure the ship aligns properly and is only in one direction. Then it will send out a docked signal. So on the player script I added where something enters that new docking node, then it will get the instance ID of that actual station and, you know, name it. So it'll get the station's name, the docking port, and therefore give the player an indication of what station they are docked to and what docking port. And I'm just trying to print that, but it wasn't quite working because it was contacting the laser. It was colliding with the laser itself, which is something I fixed later. I've just, for the minute, I moved it out of the way just to, you know, make my life easier. Right, so now to get that working, all I had to do here was, obviously I've changed all this. Honestly, it's so confusing watching back what you've done because you just can't remember. So anyway, I created a station script which will assign each port a name, just so it's a bit more presentable and, you know, it seems pretty good. So we'll just look at the printing there, and as you can see, entered the station name and then docking port 1. So that is pretty cool. And obviously I made it so that it stops the craft, because originally you would slam into it, but your velocity would keep building and it would cause all sorts of problems. So obviously we have to stop the velocity of the player. But later on there will be damage, so if you hit it too hard you will damage your ship. But for now you can go at this at full speed and it'll just stop you. But anyway, on with the code. What I did, I got a line from the chat box code, which means, so it sends a message to the chat box just to say the players entered this station, here you go, here's some information about it. Just some user feedback. I don't know if it's going to be on them like the main chat box itself. I might have like a system tab to the chat box. I don't know yet, but this is just a good little indication that you have docked successfully. There we go. See, docked at port 2 now. Yeah, everything was working brilliant. So I just spaced that out and make grammar look a little bit better. Right, on to the next thing. So, lasers. I did follow a tutorial on how to make these lasers just because I have no idea. Like I say, I'm new to Godot and all that. But I then had no idea how to implement them into multiplayer and make them sync with the server, which was an absolute nightmare. I'm not going to lie, this drove us absolutely crazy for about 10 hours. And that's not even an exaggeration. It really took about 10 hours to get this working. Just constant trial and error, making sure the collisions worked with the right crafts and making sure the line actually turned itself off, because it was getting to a point where the line would just stay on the screen like that there. The enemy's laser would stay on the screen. The particles would go off, but the line would stay, and I was scratching my head on why this was happening and couldn't figure it out, but I did get there in the end, and yeah, here are the results of adding the lasers to the game. So yes, lasers finally working and synced with the server. There's still a little bug where the line appears a little bit smaller. I don't know whether that was just because the window size was different. I had to resize every window just to make sure I could get them both on the same screen. But yeah, and also, oh, I did not mention this at the start. Okay, we're already into the devlog, so I'll give it a little black screen backlog. I added health and I added death. So when a player dies, when his health drops below 0, obviously, it will respawn at the closest station to the player. So the player will look for the closest station and then respawn there. There we go. Backlog solved. I didn't get any footage of it. I'm sorry. I'm a bad YouTuber. Anyway, on with the next one. Right, so something else I did add credits. Oh my god, honestly, it's been a crazy couple of weeks adding things. But yeah, I added credits which sync with the server, so that's about as far as that goes for now. And I've also added a delay to the laser, so you can see when you're not turning, it takes a while for the turret to follow the mouse, which makes for a bit more gameplay and strategy, I would say, to it. But if you turn your ship in that direction you want it to go, the laser goes quicker, if that makes sense. So there is some skill behind the PvP, but for now that's as far as it goes. It will change in the future. Obviously I've got to get some playtesters to try the thing and see what it's like. But anyway, that's working, and yeah, it's pretty cool so far how this is coming along, and I'm enjoying making it. So I also added this, which also took a few hours of head scratching to figure out what was going on. But yeah, it will auto populate with random station destinations for running cargo for certain amounts of credits based on the distance you need to travel. If you click on them, it'll come up with a little, window saying, "Hi, please deliver this junk for me to this place this far away," and you can accept. And once you accept, it deletes it from the list. Tells the player that it has jobs. Currently, you can accept as many in this list, but I don't know if I want to make it where you can only accept one job at a time or multiple cargo spaces. I don't know yet. I haven't 100% figured it out, but we will get there. Yeah, so you can accept a job. It can't do anything yet. I've still got to implement that, but yeah, that's pretty cool, having that window pop up and auto-populate with random jobs. I'm proud of that feature. So that about wraps it up for this devlog, but one last thing, some bonus footage for you here. I changed the lighting system a little bit. I don't know whether it was too harsh. Obviously I need to fix the sun graphic. I've got some pixels hanging out and stuff, but do you think this is better than what it was? Is less more, or is more less? Is more I don't know. Let us know what you think of the updated lighting. I don't know. I think it's a little bit less harsh on the eyes, but we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next devlog. If you did like and enjoy this series, then let us know. Oh, and also I added a little explosion particle effect, just trying things out and testing it. Anyway, peace.